What do we do?
You hold on.
Wait, what? Wait,
Halo Wars 2, a game loved by most fans, and the game that introduced a new enemy to the Halo universe, the Banished.
Run, little demon.
I gotta say, it just might be the best thing that 343 has ever done for Halo Wars. Because can the Banished be as iconic to the Master Chief storyline as how they were in Halo Wars 2 with the Spirit of Fire and Red Team?
I know we have a disagreement.
Let's look at what we have in the Master Chief story from where Halo 5 left off in a very short nutshell. Blue Team are sent to secure sensitive data in Argent Moon. Master Chief sees Cortana and tells him
Meridian is next.
and goes AWOL to try and find her. He finds her eventually. She turned crazy and wants to kill everyone to bring peace to the galaxy. Master Chief reunites with Dr. Halsey. Meanwhile, you have the Osiris team trying to find Master Chief to tell him
Cortana. She's dangerous. I know.
and saves him from her by the end of the game.
You are not taking the chief.
So what does this have to do with the Banished? One word: plot. Halo Wars 2 was a game very liked by the Halo community. It had a story by which many fans greatly enjoyed, but most of all, Atriox's story and the Banished were not just accepted as enemies.
Atriox was the first to defy the Covenant and survive.
But were very much loved. So it's just natural for us to get all stoked about the Banished and Master Chief storyline, fantasizing that we might be able to fight against Atriox as Master Chief, or get to join forces with Red Team, or whatever. Regardless of how much we can speculate, we may be, if I may say, hopefully naive. Let me explain. I think that we are all aware that for the most part, Halo Wars 2 was created and developed by different people and ideologies within 343 than those who worked on Halo 5. Therefore, we know that 343 acknowledged that an RTS Halo game got more praise from the Halo community than what Halo 5 ever did. Not because of the RTS gameplay style, but because of art style and story. Halo Wars 2 has that classic feel designed by Jeremy Cook. In my last video, I spoke about Sparth, which is Halo Infinite's art director that had previously worked on Halo 4 and 5's art. I spoke about my worries and gave examples to explain why.
We need to be putting a bit more visuals, more
unnecessarily detailed.
visuals.
The point is, it's totally confirmed that Jeremy Cook, Halo Wars 2 art director, although worked for 343 up until 2019 doing other projects, did not work on Halo Infinite, if I may add to that. Sadly, story. Atriox's story and the lore behind his ideas and what the Banished has accomplished within the Halo universe is actually pretty interesting, and it sort of fits and blends in very well with Bungie's Halo.
The Covenant had two targets in those years: humanity and Atriox. They almost got us. But Atriox, they never came close. The whole damn Covenant couldn't contain him at the height of their power.
The story was written by Kevin Grace. This means that the enemy from Halo Wars 2 was thanks to him. Other than the fact that a Guardian appeared at the end of the game,
We may have been safer on the Ark.
you don't really feel like Halo Wars 2 really links or has anything to do with Halo 4 and 5 exactly.
I am the Warden Eternal. I stand in defense of Cortana.
In a way, it is its own story, completely isolated to what 343 had ever done since they took over the Halo franchise. And you know what? It feels good to say that 343 made a Halo that fits in well with what was created by Bungie. And this is exactly what we all wanted from all Halo games. Unfortunately, this isn't the case. Halo 4 and 5 introduced us with new, hated enemies to fight with. New plots, Cortana's death/resurrection, Alexa and Keely's on Civil War, as well as the Guardians. 343 already confirmed that the universe will continue the continuity of Halo 5. So here's my biggest concern up to now, and this is totally up for discussion. Do you think that Halo Wars' plot is able to fit in well with what Halo 4 and 5's plot with the Master Chief is about? If we want to have a Halo game that feels genuinely Halo, how is 343 going to not only introduce the Banished into Halo Infinite, but to make them fit in as Master Chief's enemy? I could go on hours speculating on how 343 can absolutely screw this up, like having the Banished join forces with Master Chief to defeat Cortana, or kill off Atriox in the first mission of the game, like what happened to Jdul'm'dama. Knock on wood, man. Knock on wood. But instead of speculating, let's recap at the tangible facts of Halo Infinite with Halo Wars 2. Paul Crocker, Associate Creative Director for Halo Infinite, as well as Dan Chosish, Narrative Experience Director, have both a lot on their hands with Halo Infinite's story. They are inheriting Brian Reed's Halo 5 and Kevin Grace's Halo Wars 2. What a polarized combo to have and try to merge. I can't even imagine how they're going to pull the story off, but let's give a little bit of hope. Not only was Paul Crocker the writer for Batman Arkham Asylum as well as Arkham City involved in Halo Infinite, and if you played any of those two, you would know that he has one hell of a track record.
You know, we're just constantly trying to work out how can we get that information into the player's head in a way that at the same time doesn't feel like we're just yelling, go here, go here, go here, because we want you to have that freedom. We want you to feel like Batman. No one tells Batman what to do, apart from maybe Joker when he sticks blood in his neck. But, you know, that's that kind of world we want the player to feel like they're living in.
But Kevin Grace seems to have been involved in Halo Infinite as well. His LinkedIn states, character creation, mission scripting, and world building for the recently announced Halo Infinite, and translation of the deep history of Halo fiction for new fans in a way that rewards longtime Halo believers. This absolutely does make me happy, because at least we know that the incredible writing for Halo Wars 2, Kevin Grace, was involved in Halo Infinite prior to leaving Microsoft. Until we are able to see any Halo Infinite story, I'm going to maintain myself a bit skeptical but hopeful at the same time. I personally just can't see a Halo story that involves the Master Chief, Dr. Halsey, the Created, the Prometheans, Forerunners, the Covenant, Arbiter, Osiris Team, Cortana, Blue Team, maybe Red Team, maybe Atriox, the Banished, and maybe the Flood all at once. It just boggles my mind because the probabilities of Halo Infinite failing has just increased because of the fact that the Banished are confirmed to play a role in Halo Infinite.
We are the Banished.
Don't get me wrong, I am excited to play against the Banished as Master Chief. I can already feel like they are going to be a very fun character to play against. Nevertheless, if we look at the big picture here, there's so much at stake, not only with Master Chief's storyline, but the entire Halo franchise. Again,
Get ready.
the first two Halo Infinite trailers were amazing, and the new teaser of the Banished got me very pumped to see them introduced in Master Chief's storyline. But it sure as hell got me worried as well. Let's just hope that the spiritual reboot Halo is getting is one hell of a reboot.
I chose you because you were special. I knew we would be perfect together. And I was right.
If God of War, PS4, and Doom 2016 were both manage a hell of a comeback with rebooting the franchise, then Halo should be able to as well. So what do you think about the situation that we are in? Are you just as confused as how I am with what or how 343 will be able to manage Halo Infinite's story? Let me know. Please like this video if you found yourself uneased with this situation, but curious and excited at the same time, and share it so that you can sort of ruin or add more hype to what there already is.